there would be retribution, on some level, one way, shape, or form. I've seen guys that are activists before and have spoken out about the VA and other things too, not just the VA, but other things too. And if they use their real name and they use their face and everything, unfortunately, I've seen their benefits be screwed with, claims dragged out longer. If you think 3 years, waiting 3 years for a claim is long, how about waiting 5 or 6 years? Or even 7, or having your stuff repeatedly denied for no reason. So yeah, I've seen people have some retribution. My name's Popeye. I run a website called federaljack.com, and I'm a radio show host on a show called Down the Rabbit Hole. And I'm a veteran, and I get medical care and health care here at the Miami VA Medical Center.
What's the worst thing that you've seen or experienced at this hospital?
Let's see. Bad things? Well, there is the case of veterans getting hepatitis and AIDS from dirty equipment here at the hospital.
How did that happen?
Colonoscopies. Not a very pleasant thing. Something that guys have to go through when they get older. And you would think that such equipment would be sterilized properly in an autoclave, proper chemical sterilants. People have to take classes on this type of stuff, bloodborne pathogens, cross-contamination. They weren't doing it. They were giving it a quick, they take a wipe out and they wipe it down really quick and you're done. And that's it. Well, you can't do that. That's not really sterilizing it. And all you need is one little tiny particle or whatever on top of a piece of equipment from somebody else. Say the guy that you worked on before had hepatitis, and then the next customer comes in, doesn't, and they scope them. Well, now you just gave that person hepatitis. I'll never forget the look in this one guy's face. This guy had seen combat, 3 tours of combat, and he was a former Marine. This guy had killed people. He was not scared of anybody, and yet he was sitting in there waiting to find out whether or not his hospital, his doctors, who he trusted, had given him the golden BB in the form of some incurable disease that was going to cause him debilitating pain and screw his whole life up and everything else. I'll never forget the look on his face. This is a guy that, like I said, he's been through combat before, and the VA hospital reduced him to nervous and sitting there twitching his thumbs. That kind of, that stuff, I know you're not a vet, but for me, it just pisses me off to no end, and it riles me up, because there's absolutely no reason to be doing this to anybody, let alone guys that have been through that kind of experience.
And you sustained multiple injuries, just yourself, and
my injuries were actually, mine were actually made worse by the VA. My initial injuries in the military, if the military had taken care of me right, I could have been back to full duty. But they didn't. They jerked my chain when they found out that I actually needed more than the operations I had already had at the time. They decided that the VA would take care of me better than they would. So they medically discharged me. And then it took me over 5 years to get my benefits with the VA set so that I could go actually see the doctor. As I was telling you guys earlier about the situation with one of my ankles, where the damage was made more severe by me being forced to wait 5 years to actually be able to see a doctor.
How have they messed up, and what do you think they can do better?
Well, I mean, one, they got to own up to the fact that they actually did something wrong. That'd be the first solution to the problem, would be to admit there is a problem, right? So, when they say, oh, we don't know why these young guys are coming back and getting cancer, this and that, well, look at the DU. When it comes to the funding, stop spending money on bombs, rockets, bullets, and guns. It's as simple as that. Stop sending young men and women to foreign countries to die for bullshit. There's your simple answer. And then you won't have this huge backlog of veterans waiting for VA claims, right? And we'd also have a lot more money and smaller national debt. There you go. Solutions.
Is this what you expected when you first signed up to the military?
No. I signed a contract. And in that contract, it says that I will give you a certain amount of time from my life, and I will do whatever I'm supposed to do. And in return, if I am hurt during that course of time, you will be responsible for it. And they're not. I mean, you have to force them to do it. The wait time for veterans for appointments at a VA hospital is insane, let alone the wait time for a claim with the VA administration. There are vets that have been waiting over 1,000 days for their claims to be processed. That's ridiculous. Absolutely unacceptable. And Eric Shinseki, the head of the VA, I'll go on record as saying this right now, okay? Eric Shinseki needs to do a better job. He needs to step up to the plate. I don't want to hear any more bloviating or, coming up to the mic at a press conference and saying, yes, we're going to do the right thing. One of the right things for Shinseki to do would be admit that depleted uranium is a problem and one of the biggest factors in veterans coming back with leukemia and all these other sorts of cancers and stuff from the Gulf and Afghanistan. Okay, and Shinseki knows all about it because he was Doug Rocky's boss, and Doug Rocky was the guy that was tasked with cleaning it up. I've interviewed him. So Shinseki there's no room. They need to admit that DU is a problem, and it is an ongoing problem, just like Agent Orange was. DU, I can tell you right now, will be the Agent Orange it's currently the Agent Orange of our current generation right now and into the future, 40, 50, 100 years. The people themselves that work in the hospitals at the different VAs are not all bad. When the VA system gets a bad rap, the people that work there automatically get like an umbrella label put on them, and that's not fair because there are really good people that make a huge difference that work at these VAs. Some just everyday people that if it weren't for them, the veteran's life going in and out of these places would be much worse. We really live in a very strange society where you'll spend tons and tons of money, eagerly spend tons and tons of money, run around with your Army Strong bumper sticker on the back of your car. I support the troops. Yet, when they come home, that money and that support isn't there. And although people do say, well, I love veterans, I love the troops, they should get health care, the government should take care of them. Nothing is really done for them, right? Everybody still kind of allows the status quo to happen. They still cheerlead wars. They still say, well, it's for national security, and they still send their kids to boot camp. If you want to, the best way to stop this whole thing is starve the beast. Don't join the military.
My name is Joseph Lazito. On February 12, 2011, my life was changed forever. It happened on the subway, just like this. I got up that morning, it was like any other morning.
WeAreChange came to my rescue. All the patriots out there, their love, their support, their donation, all made it possible. So never think that,